Hi everybody, I was thinking about something the other day and thought maybe I'd pop up here and ask this to you guys. I'd love to hear your responses. Over time, have your gaming habits changed? Especially if you're getting a little bit older, maybe you're married, you've been settled more in your career, maybe you have kids now. Over time, have your gaming habits changed either due to life circumstances or you just feel differently about the experience of gaming and how you like to game? For me personally, a couple things have changed over time. One thing would be I never had a strong enjoyment when it comes to handhelds. I've always definitely gravitated more towards consoles or maybe even the PC. I had an original Game Boy, my Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, even Game Gear. I just never really played them a lot. I never got into handhelds. Eventually, the PSP drew me in, and DS, 3DS. I started playing those a lot more. And strangely, over time, though, I've actually been gravitating more towards handhelds. I've been playing a lot of the PSP, DS, 3DS. One of the biggest reasons, sun's coming out pretty bright now all of a sudden. The Switch has really, I play that 80-90% of the time handheld mode. For some reason, I don't know why, I just have enjoyed the freedom and the experience of a handheld much more than I ever did growing up. Even the Wii U, a lot of times I will be playing it just in with the gamepad, if that's a possibility with the game to do that. Just for some reason, I've enjoyed that experience, and I don't really have a reason why. Just for some reason, over time, I've become more attached to the experience of playing with handhelds rather than sitting, on the TV, just kind of being able to be wherever. And my wife's in one room, I can walk around the other room and move around. I don't know. I've just for some reason have gravitated more towards handhelds than I never did before. And I think part of it is that handhelds have gotten to the point, I think, starting really with the PSP, where it's truly more of a console experience on the go, where you have the extra processing power, where you have the mediums that are being used can hold more data, and you're really, I think, that's been part of it. I think that has helped a little bit more. But overall, just for some reason, I've been preferring handhelds. The other thing is the way I play certain games. When I was younger, say, for example, a game had an easy, medium, and hard mode, I would, most cases, go with hard or difficult, and occasionally maybe medium, but most of the time be more towards difficult. And now, I very consistently, if those three options are there, will just hit medium difficulty, and very rarely easy still, but more, switching from difficult when I was younger to medium. And a large part of it is, especially as you get older and are tackling more in life and you're just busier, and gaming is more of just an escape to just sit and relax. There's enough frustration and difficulty in everyday life to where I want to feel challenged a little bit, which is why I prefer medium over easy mode in most cases, but I don't want to feel frustrated in my pastime, if you know what I mean. I don't want to go and have just a real rough day, come home and alright, I just want to play this game for a couple of hours and enjoy it. I don't want to get to the point where I'm just frustrated on top of being frustrated. I want this to be a way to unwind, and I know some people would maybe tackle it to where they're working out that frustration through the difficulty mode. I understand that perspective too, where you want the more difficult experience because that's how you work through frustration at the end of the day. But for me, I want a little bit more of a relaxing experience, and I've kind of gravitated away from harder difficulty or much more difficult games in a way, just as I've gotten older. And even when a game has a higher difficulty level and I really enjoy that experience, I try to pick something that maybe has the option where if it gets getting to the point where it's kind of frustrating, maybe I can go grind a few levels for a couple hours and just kind of do that in a way where you get into this rhythm and you're just kind of enjoying it, and then when I come back to it, it's a little bit easier. I've had that change. And the other thing too is I've been spending more time watching Amanda play games than I've really ever done before. Usually if I was playing games with people in the same room, it would typically be we're playing a multiplayer game together, and Amanda and I do that occasionally, but more often, I've watched her play more games than I've ever really sat and watched someone play games before. I've been watching her play God of War on PS4 recently, and sometimes she'll sit and watch me play a game, like one of the Xenoblades or something. Like, there's a lot of, I'll be playing a game for a long period of time, she'll be watching me and not really playing much, maybe occasionally on a handheld, and then it'll switch to where I'm watching her play a game and I'm doing something a little more casually. That's been a bit of a change with that type of thing, and playing some games I never would pick up on my own too. And her the other way around, where it's something like Until Dawn we played through recently. Never would I've ever thought to pick that up. It's not something that would ever be on my radar. But she wanted to check it out and have us play together, so we played through that entire game together. So having that's part of being married, I guess, is having those different experiences from your different interests. And over the past 7+ years that we've been married, I've been doing a lot more of that. So that's kind of how my gaming habits have changed over time, where I want it to be more of a relaxing experience, and I'm much more invested in. I've always been invested in story and characters because I love RPGs, but I'm more involved in that and the exploration, and I care less about the challenge aspects. And I've been playing a lot more on handhelds recently. I think the Switch, being that fusion of console and handheld too, that's why I've been really, really enjoying it. It's becoming one of my favorite consoles, if not my favorite, which is saying a lot at this point pretty early on. I've just been loving that. So I'm curious, how have you noticed that your gaming habits and how you approach the hobby of gaming, how has that changed for you over time?